How do you stay humble when you know you have better skill sets than others? You seem humble with all that you've accomplished.
Well,
this is just like in general, just how do I be humble?
Yeah, how do you stay humble when you know you have better skill sets than others? And then he's saying that I seem humble with all that I've accomplished, which is actually, it's funny when I read that, like, it's not, I'm sure that for the dude that's asking this question, he's thinking I accomplished all this stuff, and it's not, I don't feel that way. Like, first of all, there's always somebody that's better than you. I guarantee it. There's someone that's done more than you. There's someone that's had better experience. There's someone that's accomplished more. And if you are truly the master of something, whatever one thing you're a true master of, there's going to be people that are a lot better at other things than you. So you might be the master of one particular thing, but you have to respect the fact that people are going to be masters at other things or better than you. I mean, so if you're super strong, that's great. Let's see you run a marathon. If you're super flexible, awesome. How much can you deadlift? If you're smart, that's great. You're smart academically. Let's check out your common sense and see where all that's at. So you're going to be good at one thing, but you're going to have failed in other areas or have weaknesses in other areas. And so you just have to keep that in check. And I'll tell you, like, I recognize why I've been successful. For one thing, been surrounded with great people. For another, been lucky in certain situations that I've been in certain times. And, going back to jiu-jitsu a little bit, it's a good example because just because I can beat someone in jiu-jitsu, it doesn't mean that I'm a better person.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't mean that I'm a better person. What it means, basically, is that I happen to get into this random fringe sport before they did. And I spent more time on the mat than they did. That's what it means. It doesn't make me a better person. And I'll tell you what, it goes with, if you feel like you're smarter than someone, it's probably because you've had the opportunity to study a subject, or you've had a bunch of education on something, or you've dove into some subject, so that might make you seem smarter. Whereas if they applied themselves in that particular area, but guess what? They were applying themselves to something else. So yeah, you got to stay humble with that. And also, when we talked about this, when you know what, I am smarter than this person. Well, guess what? There's still something that they're better at than you. And what is it? You might be smarter than them, but guess what? Maybe it's the guy we talked about earlier, where I'm smart as I can be. Guess what? This person can physically take me down and dominate me, and that's horrible. Or they're better at whatever, better athletically, or some people are really good craftsmen with their hands. I mean, there's so many different things that you can be skilled at. And if you start thinking that yourself, that you're better than other people, you're going to have issues, because in the long run, you want to stay humble, just stay alive. Because life will humble you. Life is hard. And if you're pushing hard and you're driving hard and you're trying to achieve a lot, you're not always going to win. I don't care who you are. You're going to get humbled. It's going to be hard. So many people that are successful, they've got some hard luck stories along the way of things that they had to push through and overcome in order to get there. They got humbled. And if you're winning every single time, then your goals aren't high enough. So step those up. So, I appreciate the kind of comment, but man, it's not hard to be humble when, you can just take, like, maybe someone, people always think, oh, he's a Navy SEAL or whatever. There's a lot of SEALs that are more badass than me, that done more deployments, that have gotten after it more than me. And I know that. That's awesome. I mean, good for them. They got after it. Good. So I don't feel like, I did more than everybody. No, there's no one like that. Yeah. There's no one like that. Even Mikey Thornton, who was SEAL that won the Medal of Honor, awesome guy. I've, he's a hero. But if he gets interviewed, I've watched a bunch of interviewed, heard him talk. He's like, oh, you got the Medal of Honor. He's like, it's not mine. It's my guys. It's the guys I was with. It represents all. So there's a guy, like, who's going to be, if there's anyone in the world that could not be humble, maybe it's Mikey Thornton. Mm-hmm. But guess what? Mikey Thornton, he's as humble as they come. Because you know what? He also has been humbled by combat. Because he realized there's things that he tried to do that he didn't get done. There's lives he tried to save that he couldn't save. So there's no doubt, if you're living the right life, you're going to be humbled by it. And there's always, always, always going to be somebody that's better than you, that's done better than you. So just stay humble. And by the way, what does being cocky get you anyways? What does that turn you into? I talk about this all the time. What does overconfidence get you? You start cutting corners. You start slack. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So you got to stay humble. You got to stay hungry if you want to stay in the game. And believe me, you want to stay in the game. You want to stay in the game.
Do you think that, like, and I can't. I mean, I don't know if maybe this is where the question is coming from. But if when you're insecure and like you're just like everything's a competition, like just in life, it's like it goes beyond just what you're into. It's just like if someone's better than me, it makes me mad, it makes you uneasy or whatever. It's like this insecurity kind of thing. So when you do, it's like if you look at everything as just this big life competitive, like I got to beat that guy, I got to be better than them. So when you are better than them, it's like you're still looking at it as this competition, like, like you're not on my level, so you don't deserve to be treated. It's kind of like, maybe this is a good analogy, maybe not, but like in jiu-jitsu where if you roll with a white belt, you don't go hard. You don't get satisfaction or whatever. So in the jiu-jitsu competition arena, you're not giving them the respect. You're not going all out like you would, you're not respecting his armbar. If you are, you're smashing him, no satisfaction, whatever. It's in that specific competition setting. But if you're just an insecure person where you think that all life is like just one big competition,
you got to smash that person.
Yeah, and if you're not worthy of my smashing, it's like I don't even treat you like you should be on the mats with me, kind of thing. Cool. But do you think that maybe that's where some of that comes from? Like if you're having trouble, like being humble, it's kind of like I'm better than you in life.
Yeah, it's probably just deriving from, and it's insecurity. But there's also there's a dichotomy there too, because man, I like to win, like no doubt about it. I like to win, and the dichotomy of it is that I also literally don't care. Like if I get beat, I'm like, okay, well, what can I do to get better? I don't feel this despair because I lost. Losing actually kind of motivates me more.
Right, yeah.
As opposed to getting angry. And the worst thing that happens is people decide they're not going to compete, right? They're not going to compete in the game of life because they didn't win or they don't feel like they can win. So they go, you know what? I'm just going to back off. I'm just not going to participate in the game. But get in the game. Yeah. Get in the game.
Yeah.
Theme.
So maybe it comes from not understanding what that means when you win and stuff.
I guess.
Like let's say if you, like the fight, like back to the fighting situation where about being a secure part of the male balancing a male psyche. If you know that you've achieved these skills, have these skills to win people, who don't have your skill set, you don't want to fight them. So you're just like whatever. True. But let's say like you have a better skill set, yet you're still blowing your horn about your skill set. You're not humble about it. It's like it comes from maybe, I don't know, some insecurity.
There's no doubt. There can be some insecurity that makes people super competitive beyond healthy competitiveness.
Right, just like in life, like I'm just in life, no matter what.
Which, again, there's people that are that way, myself included. But again, the dichotomy is...
I don't think you're like that.
No, I know I am.
Well, okay.
I know I am.
Remember Echelon Front. Remember the logo.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to post this on Twitter, too. Jocko made the original Echelon Front logo This is like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you're like, hey, this is the logo, something like this. And then basically, but you didn't care that it was junk.
No, but all I wanted to do is get you the
Right?
idea.
You weren't competing with me. But you drew and I drew. But like as someone who's competing in everything in life, like if you draw something and I draw something, you're like, I want to make mine better.
No, see, I wanted to win with the idea, not with the skill.
Oh,
the
you wanted
idea.
to win the war.
I wanted to win the war, not the short-term battles. Like who can draw this thing better. the war was who comes up with a strategic victory, which the icon and the symbol for Echelon Front is the one that I drew.
I liked it.
So yes, I didn't care that it looked like junk because I'm not. Did it. You should post that because it's pretty fun. I did it on PowerPoint with like a crayon. Looks like a crayon because I didn't want to take much time with it. I knew that thing would take you 15 minutes to make on your. What is it? AI Illustrator.
Yeah, man, that was a long time. I don't know. I was like, that might have been. Don't be mad at me. That's probably the first logo I've ever actually made. Maybe. Hey, there you go.
It was
OG.
very successful.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for trusting me.